Hello, this is Dennis with A1 Telephone Service and Repair, A1 Electronics. You can reach us on the web at www.a1-telephone.com, and you can also get us at 618-235-6959. Today I want to show you a second video of a wooden wall telephone. This is a Crosley, I believe. But anyway, the bottom half is taken off of this telephone because we were troubleshooting it. And Lucy sent this telephone in from New York. And she's got a letter here. It just talks about, as we spoke on the phone last week, I'm sending you my Yankee telephone for repair. I previously took this phone in to a local repair and was told that the motherboard was fried. It will not ring and it will not get a dial tone. Basically what would happen when we'd plug this telephone in, and I'm going to try to reach here and get the back part of the telephone to show it to you. This is a Crosley telephone, and this is the backboard to it, and we basically have the upper housing off of the telephone board so that we could troubleshoot it. And anyway, we had to go into this board, and in the original video we showed that this telephone, when you plug it into the line, would just seize the line. That's why it would not ring. And so we had to troubleshoot out the board, and we'll show you that in a second. Here what you see is a pile of transistors. There's 3 bad transistors here, and I have one good one hooked up. I think these are 9014s, and there may be another number here to one of them, and we'll kind of show you what a normal transistor should read like. And I'll go ahead and make the connection to this transistor. And if you hear the transistor checker, what you're basically going to see is this red dial. You want it to stay right in that area on a test. And it does just that. We're going to connect a bad transistor up. You can take and troubleshoot a board with a volt ohm meter, kind of like this. But basically what's going to happen is if you try to test these transistors, that's just kind of a quick test. You may get 1 or 2 of them that'll read a dead short, but you really wouldn't know unless you took the transistor out of the circuit if that was a true dead short or not. And so basically what happens is you have to take the transistor out, but for a quick reading, when you're searching and you're trying to troubleshoot the circuit or a transistor, basically you can do the quick test with a volt ohm meter. But the real way to test them is to take them out and put a load on them. You'll see transistors, sometimes they'll check good and they won't be. Same thing with diodes. You can check them and they may check good, but once you put a load on them, then they'll fail. I've actually seen some transistors that were just bad enough to where they didn't check bad, but if you totally replaced them, then whatever you were working on started to work properly. So even with some decent equipment, sometimes you can't find a bad one, being a transistor or a diode. I'm going to show you what a bad transistor looks like. The needle shot all the way across in both readings. So that's a bad transistor. This transistor is definitely shorted. And what we've done here is we've replaced 3 bad ones, and I just wanted to show you what a good one would look like on the analyzer. And so what we're going to do here is this telephone is a very cool telephone. Crosley makes some decent equipment, and this one happens to have, it's a little more unique. It happens to have a speakerphone. So basically we're going to check that. Underneath here there's a switch with a high, a medium, and a low setting for the speaker. We're going to check our numbers here real quick. And I'll end up in a 2. On these telephones, they put in this little keyhole is where they put the speaker or the microphone element for the speakerphone. And if I tap on that or scratch on it, you'll see the red indicator light on the analyzer. Every time that turns red, that's 100% modulation, and so we know that that part of the phone is working. The other thing that we want to do is we want to check the handset, but I'm going to ring it a couple of times. It also has a low, high, medium, and high ring. I'll let it go one more time. Have dial tone. It has a setting for the handset too, I believe. And what we're going to do is we're going to dial our numbers. End in a 2. I'm going to hit redial. And I'm going to speak into the handset. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And like I said earlier, any time you see that red light on the analyzer, that's 100% modulation when you're speaking into the transmitter or into the handset. Now I'm also going to, there's a hold button here, so while I'm talking I'm going to hit the hold it button. And I'm going to take the hold button off. Back to dial tone. We're also going to do a check where I'm going to take it and put it into a regular line. Dial tone. I'm going to hang up the handset. Hit speakerphone, and dial a time and temp number.
Good evening. Need service for your car today? Call any of our service departments or make an appointment online at offenburg.com. Today is Sunday, December 12th. The time is 10:52. Current temperature 20 degrees.
So now we know everything's working. I'm going to put the telephone back into the analyzer, and I'm going to turn the telephone around to show you a little bit of the main PC board that we were troubleshooting. And this gives you a look at the back of the board. I'll swing the board around for you, and I'll point out some areas. They said that this board was fried. Well, in some cases the board can be fried. So that's, that could be or it could not be. And in this case, that wasn't what it came out to be. It wasn't totally fried. Back here, what you're going to see is a little bit of where the keypad plugs in, but you're going to see a tone generator IC right there, and that's that IC chip back in here. And so in a lot of cases you can start testing components, but when it comes to diodes like your bridge rectifier here, and this is some of your ring circuit and the fuse was not blown on this telephone, and I see that quite often. Sometimes the the fuse doesn't blow. And it doesn't necessarily have to blow just because it took a surge from the phone line and blew out some of the transistors in it. But basically what happened is you can take an educated guess if you've been doing this a long time which transistors to check first. And on this particular telephone, I found my first two bad transistors up in this area right here of the board. But since each time I would replace a transistor, like the first two, I would be able to hang the telephone up. So that was in the hook switch circuit. And basically, I worked my way up with the transistors, pulling them singly at a time and checking them. And sometimes you have to do that. I didn't find the final transistor, which is located right here, until it's right here, until I got into this area. So, you know, sometimes there's been times where I've pulled every transistor out on the board, and you know, it might be the final transistor you pull. But we're also checking diodes and resistors too, so you want to check everything. You got to check capacitors. But just from experience, this seemed like a transistor problem, so I paid more attention to the transistors than I did anything else in the diodes. But it's possible that another component could cause, you know, the same type of things that we were experiencing with this telephone, where it wouldn't hang up, or you know, each time we replaced a transistor, it'd get a little better, and then we were finally able to dial out. And luckily, there's a microprocessor under here, which is a tone generator, or IC chip. It was not blown, and it's right back in this area. And sometimes that would have blown, but in this case it was not. And that would have been a hard tone generator IC to find, because this is a speakerphone, and from recognizing the numbers on it, it's a hard to find IC. And so it would have been kind of difficult to repair this phone if the tone generator would have been blown out. We may have went to a different board, or I would have been able to maybe search down that IC. So basically, with some troubleshooting, we were able to repair this telephone, and we know now that the main board is not what they said was blown or fried. They called it fried. So we were able to repair the telephone. I'm going to go ahead and try to plug this up to the line again, to the analyzer, and we'll do one final little check. There's your dial tone. I'm going to dial 2. Speak into it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to hang it up. I'm going to ring it. Push the speakerphone. I'm going to dial my numbers. I'm going to hang up. Dial tone. So in this case, basically what it comes down to is this telephone is repaired, and we just basically have to put it back together again. And Lucy will be pretty happy to get this telephone back, because she likes this telephone a lot. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.